Welcome in to this mindful movement session. As always, with this session and any session that you do with me, we do it to the best of our ability. And that may look different for each and every one of you. In fact, I'm sure it will do. And also, it may look different on different days. That means that also, if you need to take a break, a rest, take some hydration on, or stop altogether, that is absolutely fine to do so if that's what it takes to do this to the best of your ability. With that out of the way, let's get into a nice relaxed position, however that looks for you. And we start with some nice deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just continue that there. And if you haven't already, sometime over the next couple of breaths, close down the eyes and bring that focus inwards. Just nice, slow, deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and start to block out the world around you by focusing on that breath alone. As you do, notice how it feels when your lungs fill up, they inflate, almost pushes yourself into good posture as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just notice how the shoulders relax down and just everything just has a wave of calm wash over you. Now we're in a more relaxed state. Let's keep that breathing going, but let's thank ourselves for being here today. Often the hardest part of these sessions is just turning up in the first place, but you're here and you are ready for this next hour together. Reminding ourselves, though, that we are here, so let's make the most out of this session together, and we can do that by remaining as focused as we can together now over the next hour. With that, you might find that your mind does wander from time to time, and that's absolutely fine. We just bring it back in line. We forgive ourselves for doing so, because it is part of being human for us to wander within our mind, but we just bring it back, focus on the task at hand whenever we notice it, and make the most out of this session together. The more we focus, the more we get out of it, because that's where the mindful part of the movement comes from, staying focused, not just going through the motions. Keep the breathing going, as I mentioned. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep the eyes closed as well. And sit up tall if you're not already. And as you breathe in now, I want you to almost imagine you've got a string pulling you through your spine, through the top of your head, lifting you up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, it just relaxes down. Breathe in, pull yourself up through that spine, tall as you can. Breathe out, relax back into it. When you're ready to, you can start to open up your eyes. And as you breathe in now, let's shrug those shoulders up, squeeze them nice and tight. And as you breathe out, just relax them down. Nice work. Now instead of going up and down with our shrugs, we squeeze our shoulder blades behind and then push the shoulders forwards. Breathe in, squeeze back. Breathe out, push forwards. Nice work. Keeping that moving there. Push forwards. Feel a bit of a stretch across the back. And then as you bring them back, you feel that squeeze between shoulder blades. And going back and forth. Let's go into some rotations now. Just mobilizing them round. And change direction, just nice gentle circles going around. Good work. Let's start to open up a little bit more. We can bring our hands roughly around our shoulders here. We can start to do those elbows going around now. You can either do it double arm, you can do it alternating, or you can do it single arm. You know, do a couple on one side, couple on the other. But doing what works for you here. Good. Well, let's change direction and go the opposite way now, whether you're doing the double arm, alternating arms, or single arm variant. Good. All right, let's just do a little bit with our elbows here. So we're just going to raise the hands up and then bring them back down. As we come up, we're going to breathe in. As we go down, we breathe out. Nice work, just nice flowing up and down. Breathe in as you bring those arms up. Breathe out as you bring them down. We're going to go into a little bit of wrist mobility today. So we're going to go through its range of motion. To start with, we're going to go down and then we're going to come up. If you are somebody who doesn't have much wrist movement or wrist stability here, then what we can do is assist it with the other hand if you need to. Again, you can do it with the other hand if you're not able to do them independently. If not, just bring it up, bring it down. And as you do so, when you come to like the bottom, you'll feel a stretch probably across the inside of the arms. And as you come up, you'll probably feel it on the outside of the arms a little bit. Good, we'll still do that, but we'll change our hands over to the other way. And we'll feel it just a little bit different in this rotated position. Now this next one's a little bit tricky for me to do, but we can go palms up and then kind of, if I show it from there, you go like that. So try and keep the forearms still and almost like you're waving without using your forearms. And again, if you need to assist with this as well, you can use that other hand to assist you there. Nice work, and then we go into some circles going around now. So this kind of combines the two together. And change direction. Good work. Let's give that a little shake out and we do some shoulder rotations just to ease out of the movements there. And change direction up a little bit as well. And good work. So that little bit there, we did start with our shoulders, then we moved into a little bit of the elbows and then into the wrists. So kind of working all the way down those arms there. Okay, so we will move on to our next bit as requested. And we will come into starting with our breathing and putting one hand forwards and bringing it back in. Reach the other hand forwards and bring it back in. And just going back and forth between the two. And then when you're ready to, if you haven't already, let's bring that breathing into it as well. So breathe out as you push out. Breathe in as you pull in. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. There's no race on this. You just feel free to go at your own pace here. I like to link it with my breathing a little bit more, so the breathing dictates however long it takes. So however long it takes to breathe in, I pull it in. However long it takes to breathe out, I push it out. Good work. We're going to extend that a little bit more now. So as you reach forwards, lean into it instead, and then bring it back in line. And then the other side, breathe out, push forwards, lean into it, and bring it back in line. Good work. So I'm going to introduce you to something. Keep this going out. So as I'm speaking, something both me and my wife do together. It's now turned 22 minutes past 10, which is 2222 in 24-hour clock. And whenever we see it, and only when we see it as well, we always name what we've been grateful for the day. So it's usually towards the end of the day. If we see that 2222, we just think about what we've been grateful for the day. Usually try and come up with 5 things. And it can be nice and easy, simple things. It can be more specific to that day. We always try and name 5 things. So why not in this moment together, you can think of just one thing that you're grateful for today. As we're doing this. And it's 2-3 now, so you have to stop. So. Good. Well, let's start to extend that a little bit more now. So as you reach forwards, instead of coming straight back, we come up, over the top, all the way down behind us, and round. Then we swap to the other side, reaching forwards, then coming up and over the top, and down behind. Good work. Nice work. Big range of motion on this. Excellent work. Let's get into our next one now. So bring the hands up again, but instead of going out to the front, we go out to the side, back in, out to the other side, back in. Breathe out as you push out. Breathe in as you pull in. let's start to extend it a little bit more. And to do so, if you need to, you can hold on with the other hand, but you reach over, lean into it, and then bring it back in line. Again, if you need to, you can hold on. Nice work. Let's start to extend that a little bit more now. So reach out to the side and then come straight back. We come up, over the top, like we are clipping a seatbelt in. So reach out and over, up and over the top, and down. And I certainly need this as well today. I don't know if anybody's ever used one, but there's a ski-erg in my hotel. It's kind of like one of those rowing machines, but instead the handles are up here and you pull them down. If anybody's ever used it, you know that it's a fantastic workout in all the wrong ways. No, all the right ways, really. It's hard. So I've been doing that every day since I've been here as well. So I am needing some stretching and mobility and all that. Good, alright, let's just do some shoulder rotations to ease out of that bit of it. You can change it up as you see fit. And let's do one last little bit with our arms before we have a break and go into our spinal stuff. So we start with palms together, going to reach up, out and around, and then down, back to the middle again. Palms together if you can. Try and keep those elbows together as you reach up. Then naturally want to separate. As you come out and around, nice big circle. Feel that stretch as you do so. And back round again. Remember, if you can't come all the way up and around, even if you just get as far as you can, you're still going to get good mobility in there for you. Let's change direction. And then let's go into our hydration break. I'm just going to turn the aircon on. There's not going to be much activity from me outside tomorrow. I will be in the aircon because it's going to be 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a little bit toasty. So, and then it's dropping back down again. So it's good. I figured out the calculations before coming in, just to let you know. It's going to be hot. Good work. Okay, we are going to go into some of our spinal mobility now. So when you're ready to, let's go into some flexion extension, just looking up and down, nice and gentle movements. Keeping that going there. I'm going to grab my drink whilst you're doing that. So just nice, easy, flowing between looking up, looking down. Good work, everybody. Sorry about that. I haven't quite figured out how to drink and eat properly with a beard yet. I'm still keep getting it all, my moustache is all wet when I have a drink. But yeah, let's just glide between looking up, looking down, going for a good range of motion. We don't have to fully extend it, not yet anyway. We do that with the stretching, but if we can mobilize it in a good range of motion, that's going to help quite a bit. As we said in the past as well, like even just this mobility, it's building up a little bit of strength in there. The head weighs quite a bit, so just being able to mobilize it through this range of motion is almost giving it a bit of a workout as well as mobilizing at the same time. Okay, next time you find yourself looking down, let's hold that position there. And stay sitting up straight, but try and let gravity take over on your head here and lowering it down. Try and tuck the chin in at the same time. Now this one, out of all the stretches that we do in our neck, this is probably the one that you feel the least. That's okay. We just still go through that range of motion, making sure we are maintaining our range of motion, our mobility. But if you want to take it a little bit further, keep the chin tucked in where it is, but just rock the head side to side. And as you do so, you'll probably feel more stretches kind of on the neck, sort of behind the ear area. Good, let's ease out of that. We're doing some looking up and downs again. And then the next time you look up, we'll start by looking forwards. Place a hand gently on the sternum, keep the mouth closed, and then look up from there. I'll repeat that again if you haven't quite got it. So we start by looking forwards, place the hand right at the top of the rib cage, on the bone in the middle, keep the mouth closed, and look up from there. And when you do that right, you'll feel a stretch almost entirely through the front of the neck. Especially if you try and keep the mouth closed. You can almost try and push the chin up a little bit as well. And then here, if you want to take it further as well, we can just rock side to side. And I find this one particularly effective for this stretch. Yeah, let's ease out of that now, looking up and down. Nice, we go into some rotation next, looking left and right. Just nice and gentle, looking left and right. Going for a good range of motion. We don't need to push it yet. We are going to do the stretches, which does push it a little bit further. But still make sure we get at least a good range of motion here on this. Then we're going to stretch this part now. We'll start by looking forwards. We're going to rotate our head to the left, but before we do so, we're going to place the left hand on top of the right collarbone and almost kind of lock that down into position. You're almost trying to feel like you're locking the skin, the muscle all down in position. Then from there, you rotate around to the left. And you can repeat that from the start if you haven't quite got it. So start by looking forwards, place the left hand on top of the right collarbone, and then look around to the left. Keeping that mouth closed as well. And if we want to take this one further, we can do. We can just start by looking up and down in that rotated position. And you'll probably find, especially looking up, you'll get a really good stretch, but you might get a little bit as you look down, especially towards the end of the movement. Let's ease out of that one. We'll do some lefts and rights again. And then we do to the other side. So start by looking forwards, place the right hand on top of the left collarbone, locking it into place there, keep that mouth closed and rotate around to the right. And then hold that position. And then again, if you want to take it further, we can do some looking up and downs in this position. work easing out of that. And we'll just do a couple of lefts and rights to do so. Nice. Well, we're going to our lateral flexion now, bringing one into one shoulder, to the other shoulder, and back and forth between the two. Good work, just nice, gentle movements. You'll probably naturally feel a bit more of a stretch on this one than the others. That's perfectly normal. Yeah, let's go into our stretches now with this one. So we'll bring the left ear down to the left shoulder. You've got a few options. Option number one, let's leave it as it is. It may be enough of a stretch for you there. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can drop that opposite arm down. So if the left ear is coming to the left shoulder, the right arm drops down. Or you can bring it behind you if you prefer. So there's your three options. On your lap, down the side, or behind. Do whichever works best for you. Good, let's ease out of that. Some lefts and rights again. And then the next time you find your right ear, come into your right shoulder. Let's hold that position again. Arm on the lap, or down by your side, or behind you. Whichever works best for you. Ease out of that. Good work. Let's go into one last little bit with the neck before we move on to the rest of the spine. We're going to imagine we've got a piece of paper in front of us, or a canvas. And you've got a pencil or a paintbrush on the front of your nose pointing towards it, and you're just going to draw a spiral on it. You're going to start small and you get bigger and bigger and bigger with that spiral. So again, imagine that canvas in front of you. You're just creating this spiral with this pen, pencil, paintbrush on the end of your nose. You can get bigger and bigger with it. And then we come back in. Keep going the same direction for now. So coming back all the way into the middle. And then when you get to the middle, then you change direction and go the opposite way now. As you got to the outside of your circle, coming in again. let's go through the rest of our spine now. So we're going to some extension and some flexion. Remember, this is arching back like a high jumper, going over the bar, curling forwards like a shrimp or a prawn, however you want to call it, and going back and forth between the two there. Good. Well, let's go into some rotation. Rotate one side and then to the other. Good. Well, let's go into our lateral flexion. So reaching down to one side, reaching down to the other. Good work, and then round in a whirlpool. Change direction. Good. Before we move on to the mindfulness part, we're going to put in some stretches here because we have a little bit of time to do so. So for this, the first one we will do is reach over to the top if you can, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then coming down and then over to the other side. If you can't bring the arm all the way up and over, then what you can do instead is come across the front a bit more. Just try and find positions that you can feel that stretch, whether that is up above the head or lower down. Once you feel it, then you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere between 3 to 5 seconds. It's good, and then you can switch over to the other side. Good work. Let's go on to our next stretch here. That's where we open up the chest and then bring one arm forwards, then back again, and then the other arm forwards. Oh, my body appreciates this today. Good work on that one. And we'll just use some shoulder rotations just to ease out of it. And then we do one last stretch here where we bring the hands onto the hips and we push the elbows forwards and then bring them back behind and go back and forth between the two on this. Okay, then we're going to, again, shoulder rotations just to ease out of that. And then we will finish off with our mindfulness part of this session. But if you want to drink beforehand, feel free to grab one. And then we will move into that. Good. Oh, and by the way, in France they don't have squash, but they have grenadine, which is very similar. That's what I'm drinking. It's like a fruity syrup thing that you put with water and then it makes a drink, but it's good. Anyway, right, let's move on to the mindfulness part of this session now. So get yourself in a nice comfortable position, however that looks for you. And we'll just start with some nice deep breathing, going in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you haven't already done so, over these next couple of breaths, let's close those eyes down and bring that focus inwards. Now for today's scene, we're going to change it up a little bit and do a new scene altogether. And what I want you to do for this is, it doesn't matter if you're in that sort of position, but I want you to imagine the night sky, whether you're lying down, like in your mind, whether you're just pretending you are within your mind's eye, whatever it may be. I want you to look up towards the sky. You can imagine you're lying on some grass, maybe on a bench, a chair, whatever it may be, and just looking up into the night sky. And I want you to do the same as what we usually do here and start to build up that visual first of all. So start to imagine what that sky looks like, whether there's stars, whether there's clouds, whether even there's still the hint of a sunset in the sky, whatever it may be, start to imagine that there, whether it's something that you're familiar with or something that you don't quite see regularly, or an amalgamation of things, or something completely fantasy to you, then that is absolutely fine. Just start to just get a good understanding of it, and also of the surroundings as well, whether there's other things there like trees and mountains or whatever it may be. But we're going to look up towards that night sky and just sort of get a really vivid picture of it, whether it's twinkling stars, or you can see the Milky Way, or shooting stars, or whatever it may be. Just start to really get that visual up there within your mind. And as we do that, let's start to bring into our next sense. We're going to bring in temperature into this one, because usually when we're out in the nighttime, the temperature drops a little bit. So just imagine that slight cooling temperature. We don't want it cold, just slight cooling as you're looking up, as you're visualizing it, feeling like you're there within the scene. Start to bring in some sounds as well to it. There may not be as many sounds in the night time, but there may be a slight breeze rushing through local trees to you. There may be some cicadas chirping away. Whatever it may be, just start to get that sound in there as well. Maybe you're near the ocean as well, and you can just hear that crashing in the distance. Whatever it may be. It's not a right or wrong answer. We're just trying to make it as vivid as we possibly can. So we've got that visuals, looking up at the stars, looking up at the night sky, the clouds if it's there, feeling that temperature within us, hearing the sounds that are there, and just being peaceful within this moment. Just whilst you're in this moment, notice how you feel for a second, how relaxed you are, how calm everything is. Maybe your shoulders relax, your blood pressure will be down, the heart rate's down. This is such a great place to be in if we're ever feeling stressed or anxious about our days. You can always bring yourself back here, or to our beach scene or our forest scene, and it's just going to really help you to drop everything down. It's a really great way of blocking everything else around us, because we're so focused on one thing. Us humans are very good at focusing on one thing. If you ask us not to think of something, we often do end up thinking about it. So we use that rather than fight against it, and we focus on something, and that helps to block everything else out and to drop our heart rate, drop our anxiety, and make us nice and calm. So use this skill whenever you feel like it is necessary.